So boys, everyone needs to respect Galang now. It's very possible in the rematch against Kanogito for the final of the Real Champion tournament will result in the Thai God of War's victory. On top of that, bro used the Formless in the most recent chapter. That's right, Galang used a variation of the Formless. In the previous, we had Kano about to land a direct dragon shot after sacrificing his arm to set up the blow, but Galang was able to avoid it, at least somewhat, with the art depicted here being very similar to how Kano's Formless has worked so far in the tournament. The blows just slipping off of him or through him, with Yamashita directly saying that was the Formless. You're telling me he managed to copy Kano's moves in the 11th hour? Absolutely wild, and is confirmed once again by the narrator. Yes, it mentions imperfect Formless style, but the fact that Galang just pulled this out of nowhere is absolutely crazy. Yes, a little jarring to a degree, but it isn't a full mastery of it. It's more so an explanation for why he was able to dodge this crazy attack. Everyone is still getting stronger in this tournament. What was set up since the very start for top tiers part of the Kengan Association to fight one another, to grow in power and get closer to the likes of Shenmue Long. Them seeing him in action and fighting others who have seen him has resulted in everyone within this verse to get stronger and stronger, and we're seeing this right again in this fight. However, before I continue, did you know I have a second channel known as Mysterious Chad where there's additional Kengan content for you guys to enjoy, such as this recent hour-long video which broke down how strong the likes of Kuroki Gensai, Tokita Oma and Shenmue Long are, which provided a absolute scale for the Kengan universe. Highly recommend checking it out, link in the description or the pinned comment. But now let's go over everything about Galang and Kano's fight, what could happen for the future of Kengan Omega, and who may have just won. Crazy stuff to go over. So the final panel of the most recent chapter had this: the Thai God of War, the avatar of Garuda, the sword of Rama, ran through Kano, landing this monstrous blow that has the Fang not looking in too good a position, very similar to the panel we got in the final exchange during his Lolong fight, where bro was about to lose. Therefore, it's very possible that the Thai God of War just won the fight. Of course, Kano is an absolute tank as demonstrated throughout the entire series, even throughout this chapter as well, so I doubt he's down for good with this blow, but the damage he's likely to have sustained from it is definitely on the higher levels. Perhaps similar to his other fights, we'll once again get another Kuroki Gensai flashback that amps Kano to a degree to keep on pushing, as if you guys don't remember, Kano's absolute goal is to get stronger, to have a rematch with Kuroki Gensai to get his revenge. Even when he lost against Jirota, he was still putting Kuroki on a pedestal, something he wants to overcome. He defeated Lolong for that, someone who also wants redemption against Kuroki, and now someone who wants revenge against Kano is absolutely dominating him. And honestly, Galang is getting everything in this tournament. In his first fight, we get absolute confirmation that he's the Foresight Killer, something unique to Galang himself that allows him to fight other top tiers without any difficulty. No confirmation that he doesn't have pre-initiative, just implications that he very well does, but doesn't need to use it due to being a counter to other people's foresight. His striking being portrayed as top tier and should be regarded as the best within the entire Kengan universe, and in the previous chapter we got more information about that. For example, it's now called Galang style all-rounder striking technique, which isn't the best name for it. I preferred when it was regarded as the pinnacle of striking, or the combination of boxing and Muay Thai. However, considering it's probably more than that now, I guess this makes the most sense. So Galang being the definitive striker in the universe does make sense. He always has been this and is definitely being highlighted as a top 10 strongest right now within the Kengan universe. And it's very possible, based on this panel and everything else we got in the chapter, that bro is about to win the Real Champion tournament, giving us Galang fans everything we've wanted for. Bro was done dirty in the Carlos fight. Bro was somewhat done dirty in Kengan ASHURA, as he was pretty much defeating Kano for a majority of the fight, but got unlucky in the end. Now it's time for his redemption. He defeated Dorota, another fellow top tier. He defeated Justin, who isn't that impressive, but more than some of the others introduced in this tournament. And now it looks like he's going to defeat Kano Gito, something many of you guys also agree with, as I posted on the community tab, which is very interesting to see. Times have definitely changed. However, with all of this said, we still need to respect Kano Gito. Bro will always be an absolute mad lad, and the damage he suffered from the Lolong fight was definitely more severe compared to Galang's damage from his fights. With it still being highlighted that Kano is landing blows on Galang, doing more and more damage, with Kano being much more of a tank and physically stronger than the Thai God of War. With Yamashita even pointing out in this chapter, if Kano manages to land one more dragon shot, maybe it doesn't land directly due to Galang now using a variation of the Formless, that will still be enough to probably give him the win, alongside various other things Kano could still possibly do when you consider that his arsenal is amongst the highest in the entire Kengan universe, if not the absolute highest. Bro could do anything with his Formless. However, with the context of everything we got in this chapter in regards to more Galang flashbacks, which have been very cool to see, and him being the sword of King Rama has been great. Speaking about him, in the previous chapters, we saw him have an interaction with Yarn, the head of the worm. I do want to cut back to that conversation, hear what they're talking about. I do believe Rama is just going to be glazing Galang, and Yarn is going to show some crazy respect to Kano and Galang during this fight, and will somewhat be worried as he leaves to go back to Shen Wulong, who was meant to show up and watch this tournament with Yarn, but as we know, he's chilling with the likes of Oma and soon to be Kuroki for their conversation. I do imagine that this fight will be ending in the next chapter, and honestly, these two chapters for it have been absolutely great. Of course, I would still want it to be much longer. All the fights in the Real Champion tournament could have been longer, particularly the previous Kano vs Lolong, something that was very disappointing to a large amount of us in the community. But again, with that said, the fight was absolutely great regardless of how short it was. Likewise for this one, it could end in the next chapter. The first part of the chapter could be Galang winning with this blow. Let me know your thoughts on that down below, whether you think that is the case or Kano still has more to prove. One thing for sure is that the Thai God of War should be regarded as in the top 10 strongest right now in the Kengan story, as I broke down in my previous Kengan video. More definitive proof with this Formless stuff going on. And with all that said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Shout out to these members, the absolute mad lad. Check out the official mysterious merch available for all you guys in both white and black, and all this other stuff. That's it guys, peace.